Okay, abuzia be makwa ba shonko so edeba Ghana politics avenue so abuzia yembonra yensemu na Ken Ofori Atta emre bi ye be reported ma say oba be seeking for political asylum ye this update no ebrem na Ken Ofori Atta ensem bi ekoso saa ensem no Ken Ofori Atta edit to US mpanyimfo anim ense US Kromo there was some certain amount of money and as investment via Ojeno Kromo automatically no ye be ma a year of visa permanent as I say ye be classify as a citizen now a year visa ye friend no a year Trump a year gold card abusia Trump gold card no a year $1 million. Ye ton free $1 million ebusuya Ken Ofori Atta e campaign for him say enka or tosa gold card bi nanka or de stay US or permanent ebusuya Trump abo atoagu asisi Ken Ofori Atta no e chese wafa ekwan bia so say enka or stay with US or permanent na sa gold year card yanka or kwakoto free Trump no ne nanfofo ne family omaye omadwen senka omobe contribute se Ken ekrampo any scar abusia Trump about to say on to man ne ento man cha echna na classify Donald classify Ken Ofori Atta as an alien endra yeba ebe report mamo Felix Ofosukwachi e de honsem ababetu ya mama yanko na yanko ti entma e course unsubscribe ya subscribe like na share ma afofron so enter into me and kebi Ghana politics avenue so and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that any updates be ever dropping on also onsa be to me akabi medamase
things to which are matters of fact 100% fact. If Ken wants to run away, okay, today in America you can buy citizenship. In America, if they say Ken is corrupt and as rich as he is, okay, if you invest a certain amount of money in America, they will give you citizenship. Today, there's something called a Trump gold card.
Yes.
It's worth $1 million, $1 million.
You think Ken Ofori Atta can afford that?
I didn't say so. Let me make my point. I didn't say. I'm saying there are matters of fact. With 10 million cedis today, if Ken doesn't have it, Ken has enough friends who can mobilize that for him. He can buy a Trump gold card and stay there. Yeah, and the third one, let me finish. The third thing, which is very, very important, Ambassador Smith will tell you, today, if ICE picks you up and says that you are living in the States illegally, in fact, there's a program in the States where they will give you money to self-deport, about $3,000 or so. If you opt to self-deport, they will actually give you money to leave the country, and people have picked it. So today, Ken can say, I don't want to be in the States anymore. I want to self-deport. And he will self-deport to a non-extradition treaty country. Another country which doesn't have a extradition treaty with Ghana.
But you need a visa.
Oh, please, you don't. Counsel, if you go, you can go to their place and given all the things, they just go onto the internet, they'll see all the things that are happening with Ken. And they'll admit it. My point is this. There are other ways that Ken can abscond and try and run away from justice. We who are close to him are telling you that. We think what Ambassador Smith just said is the truth. Ken would like to come, okay? He is not above the law, so we are not asking for special treatment. But what would it take for us to facilitate his coming so you subject himself to these things? And that's why I asked some of those questions that I asked. In certain places, they even do, they flip witnesses. A guilty person will be flipped to testify against another person. This AG is doing it, okay? In certain places, they will give some guarantees, okay? In fact, in the case of Escobar, who is an extreme criminal, they allowed him to build his own prison. Okay? So we should start thinking about ways that we can, find accommodation with Ken to get him to calm down. He is not above the law, but he's also not beneath the law. Okay? And if what we want is to try him, go ahead and try him. If what we want is to bring him bodily here, let us arrange something with him to assuage his apprehensions, because he actually has options. And clearly, based on what Ambassador Smith is saying, this is not a run-of-the-mill ICE case. If it's a run-of-the-mill ICE case, he may be sent to Ghana tomorrow. Okay, ICE does not need anybody's permission to do that. They can just throw him out of the place. Okay, so I think we should approach this Ken matter a bit differently from a normal arraignment.
So, Mr. Kojo, so even though the Attorney General has given that assurance, it says Ken Ofori-Atta still has that apprehension.
To be honest with you, and regards to Ambassador Smith, and again, you must listen to Ambassador Smith's words carefully. He says that is what he is hearing.
For people
he has not said that is what is fact. Because to be honest with you, I don't believe that in one bit. That Ken has no difficulty coming, except that he is worried about how he will be treated.
You don't believe it?
I don't believe it.
Why?
You see, it is a contrived excuse. Everything Ken has... if you allow me.
You don't believe it. So
yeah, but I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Even if Ken himself told me, I wouldn't believe it.
Okay.
Because I will assess Ken by his conduct, not by his words. Everything he has done here shows that he's been trying to evade justice. That is all. The man has tried to evade justice for a year or so. Yeah. So, near say so by himself or people close to him that he would like to come, but he is afraid of how he will be treated, does not cut eyes with me. Number two, what has happened in this country that is so extraordinary in terms of how we treat persons accused of crime that Ken Ofori-Atta is afraid of? What has happened? This bit about Yoko now granting bail. Yoko is not above the laws of Ghana. If Yoko does anything that is extrajudicial, they can be reined in by a court. So if you are arrested and taken to Yoko, and they impose bail conditions that are unreasonable, there's a recourse. Yeah. And many people have used it in this particular instance. The National Service people who were detained, bail was set to be commensurate to the offense. That's all. If they thought that it was excessive, they just go to court and have it quashed. If a court upholds what the security agencies have done, it is lawful. So please, let us not countenance untenable excuses to allow a man accused of crime to evade justice. Ken is no more human. Indeed, when Kofi cited that Bible verse, do unto others what you have others do unto you. Why? Was Ken not in government when other former public officials were put before court? Is he more human than them? Is he more human than Akuffo, who was put before court? And the last time I was on a set with Kofi and this matter came up, his government put a man who had kidney failure sitting in the wheelchair in court.
Yeah.
The former, listen, I'm coming. The former health director of the health ministry, the man had kidney failure. He had visual impairment. He had hearing impairment. He could not walk.
In the first place,
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Number two.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about Ken. Not
I still stand by it.
I'm coming.
It's wrong to put sick people. So what they did was wrong.
Good. So I'm coming. Okay. No, it is your own verse. Do unto others.
So I'm standing by it.
If you let me land, please. Do unto others what you have others do unto you. What did Ken do to others?
Is he the one who jailed them?
No, it was his government. You understand me? No, you Ken. Listen, I don't believe that his mismanagement of the economy is basis to prosecute him unless you establish crime. So for me, that he inflicted hardships on Ghanaians through incompetence and mismanagement is not an issue. Ghanaians have exerted retribution by voting out his government and his cousin.
Thank you.
You understand? So that I accept. But if he is believed to have committed a crime, there's nothing about Ken that makes him extraordinary.
I agree.
That allows us to accept this excuse that he will be unfairly treated. You and I live here. Tell me, who has been treated extrajudicially in the last 30 years? Indeed, if anybody can be said to have been treated like that, it will be Gregory Afoko. Why is there not a court ordered his release? He was held for 10 years by the government that Ken was part of. Why? Gregory Afoko was not human. So how do no, I'm not even saying that it is justification for treating people wrongly. But I'm saying that in Ghana here, we don't have a history of behaving like Russia. So the Navadni excuse is completely far-fetched. Look, indeed. Again, let me say this. There may be other instances. But why? The only time in the last 30 years that a high-profile person has died in the custody of security services was Alhaji Issa Mobila in 2005, where he was tortured by soldiers and killed. Since that matter,
I made the point that I don't think this is what my country is.
Exactly. So don't say that. So it does not even arise. Look, Ken has tried to evade justice. Ghanaian law enforcement officials have the right to hold any and everybody. Look, President Mahama, when he left office, he was subjected to an investigation process.
I have said the same thing.
No problem. So, even President Akuffo, if his 3-year immunity status does not expire, anybody who believes that he's done something can. But President Akuffo is living in this country. Nobody has harassed him. So what is special about Ken Ofori-Atta that will make anybody harass him? The fact that he may be arrested, read his rights, and kept in police or whatever custody it is, interrogated, taken to court, granted bail, and then the court process begins. How different is that from what even members of his government as well are going through today? Are there not MPP people who want to be and co? And who to be lawyer is here? The buffer stock man. No, after the buffer stock man.
The same thing.
The buffer stock man, is he not standing trial?
We're all saying the same
What
thing.
has happened to him? What has happened to him that is extraordinary? Again, the last 2 points. The last 2 points. Again, the options that Kofi says are available to Ken Ofori-Atta are actually not available. Indeed, check the sequence of events. Ken Ofori-Atta's visa was revoked upon the intervention of the Ghanaian government because it was noticed that the extradition process may take a bit of time.
I see.
However, if the visa is revoked, immediately even his stay in the United States is made untenable unless he is able to show at this hearing that he has cause to do so. So the fact that they have a citizenship purchase program doesn't mean that if you are accused of crime, you can go and buy it as a way of evading justice. The American system is not a banana republic.
Excellent.
They have straight, forget about what you may think about Trump.
Yeah.
But their system is solid. They believe in the rule of law and they practice it. Even President Trump will be held to account if they believe he is done wrong. Yeah. So the fact that he is selling citizenship, that program is open to persons who are eligible. They will screen you. Yeah. You think that they will sell citizenship to somebody who they suspect to be a terrorist?
And
they won't. Or a drug dealer. They won't. Number two.
Now.
No.
No.
I'm saying, are you saying that the American authorities?
Now it's too late.
No. Even if listen,
he could have said
I'll answer you. Kofi, you believe that President Trump or the American system will grant or sell citizenship to a drug dealer or a terrorist simply because that is available, or somebody who has criminal charge of crime? They won't. Number two, self-deportation. They will not hand $3,000 over to Ken Ofori-Atta to self-deport, knowing what they know. When they themselves have taken the step to revoke his stay in the United States because of the offenses that he is accused of. So the argument that Kofi has advanced, unfortunately, are not tenable. Number one, Ken doesn't have any excuse not to be here. Nobody will kill him. Nobody will mistreat him. There is so much recourse that he can resort to if he feels unfairly treated. The same treated meted out to everybody. Why? We had this chairman, Ofori. He was arrested and put before court for attending a meeting. Meanwhile, those who actually had killed people, over which he was convening the meeting, walked free. It happened in this country. Yeah. There are people who shot people dead, who are walking free in this country. Gregory Afoko, a court ordered his release. He was kept for 10 years, a decade. Yeah. It was under Ken Ofori-Atta's government when that happened. So please,
has never got in the government.
What that means, the government that he was part of. It is because of the premise that Kofi laid. Do unto others what you want others to do unto. So what did Ken Ofori-Atta's government, his cousin, the president, do to others?
His brother, they are brothers.
You understand me? So please, everybody, and indeed, the reason why Ken Ofori-Atta's case is even essential is that he was in Occupy Ghana with Ben Kofi. Why? He is on record to have actually penned an article in 2015 calling on people to hold government to account. Indeed, he even attacked civil society and the media for being complicit in what he believed to be poor governance and calling for accountability. He went on Occupy Ghana demonstrations ostensibly to demand accountability, which was his right. Why, therefore, is he running away from accountability? When the same rod is used to measure him, he says he is afraid. Suddenly, Ghana has become a backwater republic, a banana republic. That the moment he comes to Ghana, he will be bundled up, taken to his home, tortured and murdered. So he is afraid. He can't come to Ghana. He is better than Gifty Awari and Abdul Hanan and Wuntumi and all the others. He is better than Opuni, Agongo, Atufosin, Ofoswampofo. He is better than Sedina. Who stands convicted as we speak.
These are your words.
Yes. So that is why I'm saying that I disagree virulently with Kofi's take on this matter. He may be your friend, but let us be fair. Me, if I'm accused of wrongdoing, I must go through the same process, irrespective of my position in society. If Honorable Apia Kubi is accused, the same process. If President Mahama is accused, the same process.
No,
that is how.
Last week when I was here, I told
Ghanaians
that I was also invited.
Absolutely. Yes. And indeed, in your case, look, you had cause to engage the security agencies over what you perceive to be mistreatment of your client. You took the steps to ensure that his rights were vindicated and respected. Not so. So as we speak, the matter is in court. He goes to court, he goes home. Yes, it may impose financial burden, it may impose stress on you.
I told Ghanaians about myself.
Absolutely. You submitted yourself.
Yes, I
look, me, the last time we were in government,
the man came
I woke up one day and former President Rawlings had said that I had gone to buy 2 houses.
Okay, gentlemen.
Look, let me tell you something. He said that I had gone to buy 2 houses. They were completely false allegations. The OSP put it on his cards and sought to investigate it, except that he found that it was false, so he discontinued it. You understand me? If indeed he had ever called me in respect of those false, bogus allegations, I would have had to respond. The former president of this country, over bogus Airbus allegations, was interviewed by the OSP.
The current president.
Yes, but the current president. Yes. So if even the president subjects himself to due process, why would a former financier suddenly express fear which doesn't exist? These are non-existent fears.
That is
and for me, it is only a ruse to evade justice. He is going to extraordinary lengths to do so. Nonetheless, I speak for government, and I can assure you that there is no effort to mistreat him, embarrass him, or harass him. In any event, it's not even government that is looking into his activities properly, so-called. It is the OSP, an independent arm, except that the OSP has only enlisted government's help to use formal processes to get him here for prosecution. That is what has happened. And so we must be fair. You see, we must show respect to the people of Ghana. You cannot come and take public office, enjoy the trappings, hold yourself out as a prominent figure. And then when it is time for accountability, you try to dictate to the people what treatment should be meted out to you, which is different from how all others have been treated. So I, quite frankly, do not accept this excuse about he is afraid to come. He simply does not want to come. End of story for me.
He's afraid to come.
See, well, let me bring multiple people. On the bit about with this Kenoforiate's fears, which Ambassador Victor Smith referenced, and Kofi says he is aware. How do the sentiments of people express? Because it says it's based on the apprehension is based on what people have said and what he is.
Mostly the OSP.
The OSP.
And what has the OSP said?
What exactly has the OSP?
What has the OSP said or done? What has the OSP said or done? You see, let's interrogate it. What has the OSP said or done? That's what this Kenoforiate's liberties.
No, I'll come to it.
Beyond taking you to court.
Are you get into that detail? What exactly has the OSP said or done that would influence the apprehension of Kenoforiate to come?
In the beginning, the OSP, you will remember the press conferences that the OSP put out. And his language was very belligerent. He had asked for Ken to be interviewed. Ken was in hospital. Ken's lawyers reached out to them. They offered the interview through some other means. They were certified that Ken was indeed undergoing treatment. He refused those, put out a press conference, and said all manner of things to the effect that that attitude of Ken was unlawful and that he was going to make sure that he brings him in, and issued Interpol red notices against him when he hadn't even charged him. All right, for a year, you had a number of pronouncements from the OSP, okay, accusing Ken of insisting on being treated specially.
Yes,
and saying you are
my brother. How does that constitute a threat? A prosecutor accusing an accused person of wrongdoing,
hold on,
and insisting that he will apply the law. How does that endanger Ken's liberty?
Let him come.
Can the OSP, a person, it is important. It is important. Can the OSP on his own yank Ken out of a plane and put him in prison without recourse to a court of law? It's not possible.
And the point that
it's not possible.
Since he keeps cutting me.
Sorry.
I think we were all in this country. And for a year, we heard the kind of things that the OSP said about Ken, to the effect that Ken was evading.
Yes.
Okay. He was not cooperating. Yes. When Ken had no legal responsibility to be a participant, but
you see,
he will not let me make my point. But no, listen. I don't think that you. When the point is being made, you go up and make sure it's right. Listen, Felix, you are in government.
Sure.
I can tell you that if the whole state system comes up against you, you have no responsibility to participate in your own prosecution.
Fine.
So if for a year, okay, the OSP comes and accuses you of things you haven't done simply because you did not, okay, participate in your own prosecution the way he wanted you to. He wanted Ken, a sick man, to get out of theater, use his own money to take a plane, come to Ghana, and be interrogated in Ghana.
Okay,
I'm not doing it anymore.
But
I think we all knew what happened in this country.
When he says that, it's an extremely important point. When Ken says he is afraid,
okay,
no, it's not an intention. You see, Ken says he is afraid to come here because he will be mistreated. What is the basis for that fear? The thing that the OSP has said.
And that's the question saying that.
What's the basis of
But
it?
why? The state can compel you.
Okay.
The state cannot compel you to participate in your own proceedings.
Why would the state arrest you?
Thank you.
The state cannot compel you to participate in your own
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's what you want. If it were you, I'll say
Now,
the same thing.
let me just
You
say.
have a right to remain silent.
Thank you. Now,
You have a right to remain silent. The things that were done in the
if
past
there's
were
no
wrong.
basis
But you are compelled
for
to stand
the,
down if
your microphones
You
are
are
off.
charged
You
before
are
you
now
stand
being
trial.
distracted.
And
Gentlemen,
we have not been charged. What's
thank
the
you.
point of
You are not being heard. 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 So if you see, we need to understand. That's why I asked the question about whether or not that apprehension has any basis. That's what Kofi Bento was detailing about what the OSP has said and certain conduct. Does that have any bearing on how things will play out in court? Can the OSP by himself?
we ne ensema e course so e political highway so eye Ken Ofori Atta na yete ne nka Felix Ofosukwache na eche se eye Kofi Bento e drop his details no or che se yenton man ne enton man china na ne timer eye so de tokra no apa ya beda ma sesama je pene kokoti sa ensem wi e de mi aha Ghana Politics Avenue so and don't forget to click on the notification bells and any update be ever drop, also once a bit to me, Akabi, Madam.